From San Miguel Beer, we have one of 5 beermen in the veterans lineup today. An excellent open court player who has averaged 13.1 points in the first conference at 6'1", number 4, Elmer Reyes. From Anya around 65, we have the defensive specialist whose grace and all-around court savvy are always a joy to watch. He is one of 5 remaining original PBA veterans, having played in the league since 1975. At 6'3", number 18, the scholar Philip Cesar. Our next veteran has played in the league since 1979, the year he was chosen as Rookie of the Year. He is one of the finest low-post players in the PBA. From Formula Shell at 6'2", number 11, Arnie Twadless. Next, from Presto Ice Cream, he is one of the most versatile big men in the league, excelling on both ends of the basketball court. In 1984, he was the league's most improved player. At 6'5", number 1, Manny Victorino. Next, we have one of the steadiest trick shooters in the PBA, a 5-year veteran, 6'1", number 41, from Añejo Rum 65, Joey Loizaga. Next, from San Miguel Beer, we have a 3-year veteran who was one of the main factors in San Miguel's winning the first conference crown. An offensive threat in the shaded area, and even at times from medium range. 6'4", number 12, Ives Dignadice. Also from San Miguel Beer, another 3-year veteran. Throughout his career, he has shown the ability to bounce back from major injuries to become a big factor in his club's championship drives. 6 feet, number 9, the Skywalker, Samboy Lin. At center, the PBA's 4-time most valuable player, who is in the top 5 of all major career records. From San Miguel Beer, 6'4½", number 19, El Presidente Ramon Fernandez. At forward, he is the other half of Alaska Milk's Bruce Brothers. He is an 8-year veteran and was the league's most improved player in 1987. 6'2", number 13, Yoyoy Villamin. He is one of the deadliest shooters ever to play in the league. In the first conference, he averaged 23.1 points. He holds the record for the most number of 3-point shots in the league in one game. From Presto Ice Cream, 6'2", number 8, the trigger man, Alan Kaidik. He was the first conference championship's most consistent performer. He is the extremely talented point guard of San Miguel Beer, number 14, Hector Calma. And to complete the veteran lineup, Philippine basketball's most durable performer and one of the PBA's truly great superstars, the captain of the veteran team, playing coach of Añejo Rum 65, number 7, Sonny Jaworski. Coaching the veterans is 14-time PBA champion coach Baby Dalupan.
Ladies and gentlemen, 1989 PBA All-Stars.
Since Mendez certainly outdid himself with the pompous introduction, certainly deserving of all the principals in the 1989 PBA All-Star game.
For the rookies and sophomores. At center, number 44, Cordillera.
At guard, number 10, Pumarin.
Number 12, De La Rosa. Number 8, Jose. And number 28, Zaldi Realobit. Starting 5 for the veterans. Number 13, Villamin. Number 14, Calma. Number 11, Tuadles. Number 12, at forward, Dignidice. And number 8, Kaide.
All right, they're just about ready to square off at the center circle. The starting fives have already been announced by Sev Sarmenta and Dr. J. Based on the reactions of the crowd to the individual introductions, I would hazard a guess that the veterans do enjoy a slight home court advantage here tonight.
Well, I think the crowd itself, they're appreciative of all the players that are representing both squads. You see a lot of the Pure Foods players did get good hand claps from the crowd. A lot of the San Miguel players also got a lot of applause from the people. We have the starting fives on your screen. It's strange because you would expect them to start off strongly, no? While as the rookies, Ria Lubit is playing power forward for them. Bobby Jose, small forward. He can shoot from the outside. Jerry Cordillera is going to be the center. Derek Momar in the point guard and De La Rosa in the backcourt. And for the veterans, Dignidice will probably play center for this team. He is familiar with that. Yoye might be the power forward. Alan will probably play big guard together with Hector Calma's point, and Arnie Tuadles probably the small forward position.
And the SWAT team, which is the group of referees officiating this contest, also an all-star cast, is composed of Mr. Johnny Bayais, Ernie Valdeleon, and Tito Varela. Nothing to nothing is count. We're through seconds into the basketball game. The veterans are in the dark-colored uniforms. If you're watching this in black and white, Arnie Tuadles connecting from top of the key and drawing first blood for the Gayuts, as the Sports Weekly magazine very graphically describes them.
Very high percentage shot for Arnie Tuadles. Romeo De La Rosa responds. So it's a 1 out of 1 for both of the squads at the start of this ball game. Alan Kaidig drives to the hoop, feeds off to Arnie Tuadles, who misses this shot.
That was a good setup, Jeff, for Arnie Tuadles, Reggie Bungild, and here is Pumarin, Dindo Pumarin, the younger of the Pumarin brothers in Philippine basketball. Jump shot by Bobby Jose, bullseye!
And the rookies take the lead right now, 4-2, rookies and sophomores after 45 seconds of play.
And we're 1 minute into, almost a minute anyway, into the basketball game. Arnie Tuadles harassed by Bobby Jose, low post play. Yoyo Villamin against Jerry Cudinera. Without blinking an eyelash, Ives Dignidice misses from top of the key. Calma tries from closer range. Still a no-no.
After an offensive rebound by the smallest man on the court, we see Ray Lubit clearing the defensive boards. The rookies coming in with the play, and there's a foul called on Ives Dignidice.
Well, Ives Dignidice is guarding Jerry Cudinera on the Tyro side of the floor, while on the other end, it's Yoyo Villamin versus Jerry Cudinera.
The rookies and the sophomores are in the light-colored uniforms, while the veterans are in the dark-colored red, if you have color TV.
That's true. Ives Dignidice clearing the board before hitting the deck, and Yoyo Villamin gets it over to the penetrator, who goes to work against the young Pumarin and immediately elicits the foul from the young Pumarin.
Foul, Pumarin. Hector Calma will go to the 15-foot line. Take a look at that on our slow-mo. Hector taking it strong to the hoop, and is fouled by Dindo Pumarin. Now, we're going to see a lot of playing time, Joe, from Dindo, because I understand that Ronnie Magsanov is just recovering from the flu. He might get to see some playing time, but we don't know if he's up to it full strength, you know.
Well, this is going to be a golden opportunity for Dindo Pumarin to really unravel his wares as Hector Calma sinks his charities. 4-all is the count. 10:34 to go in the first period.
Hector has been very proficient from the 15-foot line. He's got good percentage from that area, shown in the first conference of play. Bobby Jose playing on the outside.
Jerry Cudinera picked up by Ives Dignidice. Fumbles, recovers, puts it up into the hands of Yoyo Villamin. And the red shirts are on the run again. Alan Kaidig bubbles. Oh, very sloppy handling, very unseemly of Hector Calma. That's the kind of thing you seldom see this guy, if at all you will ever see him in your lifetime, commit.
Well, what's happening here? Oh, that's going to be a backing violation called against the sophomores and rookies, because Dindo Pumarin passed off to Ria Lubit. He had established position in his front court, and he takes the ball and comes back to their back court. Very clear, and that's a backing violation.
You're seeing that in the slow-mo replay. Three-point shot. Alan Kaidig. Short. A tad short. Coming in for the offensive rebound. Ives Dignidice keeps it alive for the red shirts. Tuadles fires on a screen by Dignatice. In and out.
Ria Lubit with the second defensive rebound. The score is tied at 4-all.
That was Dindo Pumarin banging bodies with Hector Calma. Bobby Jose in three-point country. Now moves to the two-point zone. Definitely eludes Kaidik, but misses the finger roll. Great follow-up.
Follow-up there was completed by Romeo De La Rosa to give a 2-point lead to the sophomore and the rookies.
Time down to 9 minutes and 35. I've never seen the Ultra so jam-packed as it is tonight, Dr. J. It's so crowded in here that you have to go outside just to find room to sneeze.
You know, actually here you can fit about close to 12,000 people, and I think we have that because all the aisles are filled up, and also a lot of people standing at the back of the people in the lower level.
Yeah, and it's as early as 1 o'clock this afternoon, maybe even earlier than that. A lot of people had already been milling around the Ultra, waiting for the gates to open. All right, we have a turnover.
It's for a worthy cause, and we thank the fans that did come here to the Ultra to support the PTS, the Philippine Tuberculosis Society. But we're also thanking the fans for watching the game tonight if you're on TV.
Well, incidentally, another beneficiary of this event is the Players Trust Fund. Another three-point shot by Alan Kaidik, gone haywire.
Alan, you know, in the last few games of the Presto team where Alan plays, his three-point shots was off and on. It was not like last year where it was almost like an automatic shot. I know he's still trying to clear that rifle for himself.
Well, he was easily the most marked man in the Open Conference, scrambling after the loose leather. Dindo Pumarin keeps it alive for the white shirts. Oh, great block by Hector Calma. Scrambling for possession. The red shirts. Here's Calma going, and gone.
Well, he acted like Superman in that play because he was gone, and Romeo De La Rosa tried to come up with a foot race against Hector. Another steal there by Alan Kaidik. He's going. Bobby Jose was not going to give him a layup.
No way. He's got to get that layup on a silver platter.
That was a good block there by Bobby Jose.
Zaldiria Lubit painstakingly working his way. Yoyo Villamin clears the board for the veterans. Hector Calma brings it downtown. Ives Dignatice manning the right wing. Inside, Yoyo misses with a finger roll.
That was a great pass there by Ives Dignatice, not completed by Yoyo. Veterans still on top by 2 points, 8-6.
Team foul picture shows the veterans with only 1 against 2 for the Tyros.
Post play now here for Ria Lubit, makes the turn and is blocked by Yoyo from behind.
You know, back in college, Dr. J, we always refer to those who are not seniors as underclassmen. For our purposes tonight, maybe we will do the same, and we shall return.
Rookie sophomore team.
Pro Filipino, official shoes of the PBA.
One of the most familiar fixtures every time we have an Añejo game here with the Ultra. That's, of course, Gretchen Barreto, and she's here to cheer for somebody in the veterans lineup.
I promise not to tell anybody, it's Joey Lersac.
Oh, no. We're just whispering it to each other
Split
and the rest
there.
of the world. Okay.
And a three-point play, this time completed by an offensive rebound of Jerry Cordinera. And we have the sophomores going on top by 1, 9-8.
7:47 left in the game clock for the first period. Alan Kaidik found himself in too deep, but he managed to extricate just the same. That's a plum for you, and he's in for a three-point opportunity.
You know, if we can catch that in slow-mo, that was a very difficult shot by Alan Kaidik. He had to keep his pivot foot so he wouldn't be called for traveling, and then had to pump fake to get 2 big men up in the air. He got the shot with a reverse, got the foul, and misses the three-point play. Gets the, misses again on a hook.
Wow. He would have brought the house down if he had completed that 4-point opportunity. Ives Dignatice is unmolested. He collects. 4-point play finally completed.
And quickly, the veterans are on top by 3 right now. 12-9 is the score. 7:25 left in the first quarter.
3 team calls for the Tyros against 2 for the veterans. We have a foul.
Foul on Anya Tuadles against his protege and a teammate on the Shell team, that's Romeo De La Rosa. Both of them coming from the province of Cebu.
Earlier, incidentally, in the appetizer, Crisp prevailed over Philip Sar team to the tune of 115-112.
Yes, a 3-point victory there for Crispa. Alan Kaidik. Good fake against Bobby Jose. He remembered the way Bobby blocked his shot earlier, so this time he did not go straight for the layup.
Alan Kaidik seems to be having a holiday in this All-Star game. 7 minutes to go in the first period. You ain't seen nothing yet. The 14-9 is a count. 5-point lead for the vets. Not the veterinarians, but the veterans. Cross court to Bobby Jose, intercepted by Allen.
There's a lot of problems here for the rookies because they do not have enough guards on the court. There are no legitimate guards except for Dindo Pumaren, and they're having problems passing the ball and starting their half-court play.
What they really need here is a floor manager. Bobby De La Rosa misses. He gets it right back. He's going to try again from the baseline. Drops it off to Jose. Jose lays it in.
That's a very good setup job there by De La Rosa. He not only passed off to Jose, he provided the screen, but Cuadres is going to take it strong against Dindo, and he's going to get fouled.
Well, the veterans are displaying all the savvy, and that savvy has so far prevailed with 6 minutes and 19 seconds left in the first period. Actually, the freshmen and the sophomores are only too willing to concede that asset going for the veterans. Savvy and experience and a lot of chutzpah, if you want to put it that way.
Well, as Arnie Tuadles put it in his interview, Joe, it's called gulang. Gugulangan nila, if they could. Now we have Cabahug coming into the ball game for De La Rosa. Cabahug is a legitimate big shooting guard, and he will be able to help Dindo Pumaren in the backcourt.
16, make that 18-11, 7-point lead for the veterans. Bobby Jose, confronted by Arnie Tuadles, picks it up by Zaldi Realubit. Jose takes a fall away from three-point country. Very unusual to see a fall away from three-point country. Arnie Tuadles, however, has it on a silver platter.
We were expecting the rookies to do the running, but it seems the veterans, after clearing defensive boards, finds the quick outlet pass and gives them a 9-point lead on the shot by Arnie.
You hit it right on the head, Dr. J. That's one of the most eye-popping revelations in this contest so far. The veterans are beating the young ones right in their own alley, the running game.
This is supposed to be their forte, no? Yoyo missing a hook there against Jerry Cordinera.
20-11 is the count. Big 9-point lead for the veterans. Very unforgiving. Jose is fouled by Allen.
Foul, Gaidik. That'll mean 2 free throws here for Bobby Jose. I guess that this is going to be a regular thing in the PBA from now on. It's not a 2 free throw shot, as Bobby was fouled before he could take off for the hoop. Side court throw in. Cabahug switched off there against Yoyo Villamin, his teammate in Alaska, and makes the shot.
Oh, not all the bullying that Yoyo Villamin is capable of could prevent that conversion.
I'm sure that Yoyo is going to defend against him if they switch off, but Yoyo is not going to hurt him. He's his teammate.
Okay, here's Yoyo now on his offensive side of the floor. Ivestic Nadise with a turnaround. Yes, sir.
Jericho Diniera there could have played better defense. You can expect that move of Ives, but he allowed him to make his move, take the shot off without even putting his hands or trying to contest the shot.
As a result of which, we have a 9-point lead anew for the veterans. Promptly cut down to 7 again. This time by Cabahug.
Back-to-back baskets by Elmer Cabahug. We will have an MVP after this ball game, but it will be selected by the press corps of the PBA and not by Joe Cantada and Andy Howe.
Am I relieved about that? Because we always bear the brunt of all the flack every time somebody disagrees with our choice.
You can't have perfect harmony in the word yet. But,
Not yet.
Most of the time, the decisions are almost all right.
Oh, we try our best. Hector Calma clears the 10-second line. Picked up by Elmer Cabahug. Leaves Cabahug completely flabbergasted.
We're seeing a part of the veterans not having any relief. All of the 5 players that were fielded in the first 5 are still on the floor. Benji Paras is now being sent to the scorer's bench.
And this very first substitution is coming in the last 4 minutes of the first quarter.
3-second violation there called against Jericho Diniera.
Couple of subs checking in for Dani Silverio, but not before this timeout. 3:54 in the balance for the first period. A couple of subs were infused into the ball game by Dani Silverio during that last timeout, Dr. J.
Let's talk a lot of substitutions. For the rookies, Magsanok, Paras, Alvarez. Patrimonial teams up with Cabahug. For the veterans, Fernandez, Jaworski, Philip Cesar, Ivestic Nadise, and Samboy Lim. Baby Dalupa, he's want to do that, and he's coming up with a big tackle there. If he only could catch that he put in Sonny and Ramon at the same time.
The only guy from the original frontliners still there is Cabahug.
Yes, and Ivestic Nadise on the part of the veterans.
That's right.
Samboy with a high fly there, but he misses it, and we're going to have a violation called against Alvarez for holding on to the ring as he made the defensive rebound. Sonny Jaworski throwing in from the side court.
The living legend of Philippine basketball, all of 43 summers old. Juan Fernandez, Jaworski on the floor at the same time and playing with each other. Quite a sight to behold, and the ball goes off the floor. It stays with the veterans.
It's not a completely new sight for people who've been watching, but they were together until 1982. Yes, and then they disbanded in 1983.
Ines Dignadice guarded by Alvin Patrimonio. Here's El Presidente dropping it up to Jaworski. And Jaclyn brought the house down. Phillips has a block. Wow. A golden moment to remember for all PBA fans to savor. Jaworski getting an assist from Fernandez and vice versa.
You know, we might see this only for 1 or 2 more years. Mon driving to the hoop, getting fouled there by Elmer Cabajo. You know, Mon is so relaxed in this ball game because he knows his experience and his advantage in height against most of the players that are on the court for the rookies.
Well, of course, it is no secret, Dr. J, that the personal rivalry between these two guys dates all the way back to, what, 1983 or even earlier than that, even while they were playing together with the same Toyota team.
Yes, but there is what we call glasnost.
Oh, you were after Mr. Gorbachev's heart, eh?
It's open-mindedness.
Yes, that's right.
Friendship.
27-15, dozen-point lead for the veterans. Samboy Lim stood right in the path of a driving
Elmer
Cabajo, and he's going to pay the price.
You know, Cabal has only played a few minutes here as he came into the ball game for Romeo De La Rosa, but he has already started off very well, hitting 2 jumpers from the outside, now taking 2 from the 15-foot line. He's got 4 in the ball game.
You know, going back to the highly talented Ramon Fernandez, Sonny Jaworski feud, it's only natural, I think, because these two guys have been the most dominant figures in Philippine basketball for a good many years now.
That's right. Mon has been the top center, and Sonny was the top point guard for many years, and to his fans, still the number 1. So it's really a matter of these things. Oh!
How about that?
You know, I wonder if it is also, you know, it bothers them psychologically, you know.
But Dr. J, don't you think they're carrying this glasnost business a bit too far? That play blew up right in their faces.
But they're still enjoying a 10-point lead. Yes, that is very true, Joe. That's why I said I wonder if there is some psychological barrier affecting them. Philip and Ramon have had no problems, although I think it's the first time they played together.
3-point bomb fails to explode for Ronnie Magsano. Scrambling after the leather. Investigadores. Samboy takes it.
Samboy shows a lot of balance going for that shot. A dozen-point lead for the veterans.
29-17 is the official tally. 2.5 to go before we call it a quarter. And it's going to be a turnover.
An offensive foul called against Benji Paras, setting an illegal pick. Benji has not held the ball at low post, and he's been trying to set up picks for his fellow teammates.
Well, the underclassmen are having a rough time trying to work out some kind of set pattern here. Here's Samboy firing from 18. Look at Paul Alvarez clearing the board at the expense of Philip Cesar. And look at him running past a slalom. Here's Samboy picking it up for the red shirts. Running interference is Philip Cesar. Wow, the tempo of this basketball game has certainly picked up. They're now running at 90 kilometers an average speed. Unproductive thrust by the Sophomores and the Tyros. Here comes the big J on a 4-1-2 break. He gives it to Cesar.
Well, it's obvious here, like earlier, Samboy could have given it to Cesar, but he passed off to his San Miguel teammate. Sonny Jaworski did the same thing. He passed off to his Anya teammate.
Factional lines are still very visible even in an all-star game like this.
See, the rookies cannot just afford to run, you know, because they don't have enough big men to clear defensive boards. They should go to the low post play like they did again for Patrimonio, for Benji Paras. This was the first time since they were in that Patrimonio held the ball at low post and could make that one-on-one move.
The Young Turks biting the dust of the veterans to the tune of 14 points, 31-17 with 1:34 win the balance for the first period. And Investigadores has just been relieved by Manny Victorino.
That puts a lot of ceiling for the veterans with Manny Victorino, Philip Cesar, and Ramon Fernandez in the forward lineup, no?
Incidentally, as pointed out by Dr. J, Manny Victorino is subbing for Abed Abin, who is indisposed for this ball game. Bad pass dished out by Sonny Jaworski result in a turnover for the underclassmen. 31-18. Still, Baker's doesn't lead for the veterans.
With only 1:25 left in the first quarter.
Ronnie Magsanok against Jaworski. Alvarez confronted by Philip Cesar. Gets a pick from Alvin Patrimonio. Alvarez finds the door. Shot to his face by Manny Victorino. They're forced to regroup and take the shot from outside. Blocked by Ramon Fernandez. It's a complete rejection for the veterans. El Presidente behind the back pass intended for Samboy Lim. Telegraphed and intercepted with a preemptive foul given up by, was it Benji?
Foul, Jaworski.
Jaworski, I'm sorry.
But the rookies had a 3-on-1 situation coming back for a fast break. Good foul to give up because that's not an easy 2 points. However, that was the 17th foul now for the veterans.
You know, what you saw from that slow-mo replay of that last bit of action was Mon Fernandez actually wanting to dish off the assist pass to Jaworski.
That's right. Benji missing it. There's a good steal by Alvarez, and Mon is going to be called for the foul.
Ramon Fernandez tried the umbrella defense, and this time he pays the price.
Fernandez.
Alvarez, Mr. Excitement, is on the line. 31-18 is the count with 49 ticks to go in the first period. Very animated crowd we have here. There's a little over 12,000 because that's about all the Ultra can accommodate. But the way they are roaring, you'd think there was a crowd of 500,000 at Tiananmen Square.
That's right. Sonny Jaworski pushing the ball up, calling for the play. Fernandez coming out to receive the ball. Great
Here's
pass.
Philip Cesar taking the fall away of Elmer Cabajo again missing. Alvin Patrimonio clearing the board but losing it to Samboy Lim. Here's Manny Victorino. He's got an open shot.
What is being shown here by the veterans is a lot of tenacity, never giving up on a play, even though Alvin had clear defensive boards.
Manny Victorino kisses the deck. Picked up some splinters as he picks himself up. And Ronnie Magsanok prepares to end ground for the underclassmen with 21 ticks to go. They're down by 14 at 33-19. Magsanok orchestrating the offensive, taking over the playmaker's chores from Dindo Pumarin. Bong Alvarez bounces it off the low post. Manny Victorino fouling from behind.
Fouling Alvin Patrimonio.
Foul
They are in the
Victorino.
penalty situation, and that'll mean
Penalty.
2 free throws for Alvin Patrimonio.
The veterans are already in penalty, while the rookies are not really that much better off.
Although that's 16 fouls, they can still give up 1 foul with only 11 seconds left in the first quarter, as long as it's not in the act of shooting, no, Joe?
That's right.
They can use that to their advantage on the return play for the veterans.
Because the veterans are definitely going for the last basket in this first period.
Manny Victorino doing the honors. Sonny, I wonder if he's aware of the time.
Only 5 seconds to go. Samboy looks at the clock. He knows he has to put it up now.
Perfect timing there by Sam Boylan.
35-21. We shall return.
You know, the way that Philip is playing this all-star
Foul,
game
Alvarez.
shows how well he might play for Añejo in the next conference. Philip seems to be so much at home here, takes advantage of this situation, uses his head, gets the shot off the glass, and is fouled by Bong Alvarez.
You know, going back to what I said about the spate of celebrities at ringside tonight, Dr. J, there's so many of them that this has become practically a social event. You'll find here the kind of faces that grace the party place every night of the week.
Including your face and mine, huh?
Well, that is subject to a little debate, Dr. J, but anyway, we'll give ourselves the benefit of the doubt.
Alvarez having a miserable time from the field. Benji Paras with a tenacious offensive rebound and getting it off the glass, but he seems to be a little bit hurt as he struggles to come back for defense.
In the meantime, the veterans continue to lord it over the Tyros, riding high on a 15-point lead with 1 minute and 3 seconds gone by in the second period. Sonny Jaworski,
The president's daughter.
hey, the first teenager of the land, that's Chris Aquino. You know, actually, the presence of so many celebrities here is driving our director, Ramon Romano, bananas.
Not mangoes, huh?
He's an overripe mango. Okay, here's Paras. Yes.
Paras starting to get off now as he got that shot earlier. 2 in a row for Benji Paras, and they have cut down the lead to 13 points.
38-25 is the exact count there. Sonny Jaworski confronted by a guy half a head shorter than he is and about 20 years younger. That's Ronnie Magsanok. The fall away by Manny Victorino. Air ball safety knock by Sonny Jaworski goes to the wrong hands. Benji Paras. Again, his move distracted by the vets. Mon Fernandez and Philip Cesar ganging up on Benji.
Well, those are two very good defensive men. That was a problem there for Benji. He should have given up the ball, continued to cut. He might have gotten back the pass and had a dunk for himself. Samboy Lim now being replaced by Elmer Reyes.
Earlier, some pertinent figures were flashed showing the field goal shooting percentages, Dr. J.
A big advantage that the veterans have, 50 to 35. Also 12 assists compared to 2 in the first quarter.
And considering the fact that the veterans were able to have only one workout with one another, that's quite a phenomenon. Here's Benji with a turnaround. Not enough muscle behind it, and too much muscle from Bong Alvarez. Benji again with an anemic shot. Here's Bong.
This time it's a dunk.
Oh,
It's a dunk.
a moment of brilliance. Isolated moment of brilliance here for the underclassmen as Mon Fernandez. The ball swatted away by Alvin Patrimonio.
Simon didn't take care of the ball. He was trying to come from the right side and lay it with his left. Alvin Patrimonio says, no way.
Alvin has got tremendous vertical leaping power. Oh, Philip Cesar didn't expect that pass from Jaworski. Elmer goes to Ramon Fernandez. Corner shot. 40-27. Michael Bakers doesn't lead for the veterans. Ronnie Magsano gets it right back. Blocked by Philip. Ramon completes the steal. He goes to Sonny Jaworski. And the Big J. Whoa, wow, what a pass. What a pass. If only for that isolated bit of action. I'm sure the fans here would have been willing to shell out twice the price of the tickets that they paid for. Look at this.
Elmer Reyes could do nothing else but to complete it. The veterans had 18 points on the fast break in the first quarter compared to only 2 for the sophomore and the rookie.
Elmer Reyes is called for his first personal. 42-27, 15-point lead for the Vets. As investigators report to the table officials to give Mon Fernandez some relief. And El Presidente gets a big round of applause from his own fans, of which there were legion up in the stands.
Earlier former coach, team manager, Joel Aquino of the Alaska Milkmen.
Ronnie Magsano acting the role of floor manager right now. A three-point shot uncorked by Cabahug.
Good call by referee Bayais. Last touch on Philip Cesar in that play. And the rookies will keep possession of the ball. They're down by 15, Joe. 9:03 left in the second quarter.
And earlier you looked at Jun Gregorio, manager of the champion San Miguel Beermen. Sonny Jaworski gets a rest.
Hector Calma coming in for Sonny Jaworski. And a jumper there by Alvarez, and he's way off tonight.
There's a long baseball pitch. Much too strong even for Philip Cesar.
You know, Philip used to do that very well for Crispa when he used to be the one to throw it to Atoy. But not the, you know, and he could really receive passes like that, but I think age is also catching up with him. Alvarez is now finally relieved after so many misses by Jojo Lastimosa.
42-27 so far. The veterans are proving to all and sundry that old is gold. 8:46 left in the first semester. Benji Paras having a hard time controlling the leather. Ronnie Magsano. Time down to 6 seconds in their shot clock. The fall away by Cabahug.
Cabahug, I think the most steadiest shooter on the part of the rookies in this ball game.
42-29. That's still a 13-point lead going for the red shirts. The veterans, Hector Calma, Philip Cesar against Jojo Lastimosa. Knocked away by Jojo, stays in the backyard of the Vets.
They will have 11 seconds in their shot clock to complete this play.
Hector Calma, who came in a few seconds back for Sonny Jaworski, has just done the inbound honors. Elmer Reyes gets a pick from Manny Victorino. Goes to Hector. Can't put it up. Tries anyway. Cesar with a famous stretch.
Cesar doing a lot of magical shots on the inside. There is Magsano trying to push it up. 15-point lead for the veterans. Jojo Lastimosa and a 3-point shot by Magsano. Bullseye.
3, Magsano.
44-32. You know, if Ronnie Magsano can get back that three-point shooting hand in the All-Filipino, he'll be a very, very potent weapon.
I think definitely he's going to get the confidence back because he's going to get a lot of playing time during that conference for that team.
You're absolutely right. What with the absence of imports in the All-Filipino. Ives Dignadise banging bodies with Benji Paraz, and the foul definitely is going to go against Benji.
That's going to be his third personal foul. He might need relief. We see Joey Loizaga being sent to the scorer's bench.
Cesar.
And he's going to come in for Philip Cesar, his teammate.
Paras.
Jericho Dinera, on the other hand, Joe is coming in for Benji Paras.
So the matchups now have drastically been altered. It's going to be Codinera taking on Manny Victorino. And here is Joey Loizaga confronted by Jojo Lastimosa. Elmer Reyes makes his move. Ives gets it back to Joey. Joey can't find any shooting room. Drives, gets it over to Ives.
That's the experience of the veterans, you know, how well to draw them defensive man to him, give up a pass, and you see the other guy just accepting it.
There's such a thing as instinctive reflexes among the veterans, Dr. J, so much so that even if you've never really worked out together, somehow these moves come as second nature to you.
You know, Joe, you just coined a good sport phrase, because that's instinctive reflexes. Usually we say instinct or reflexes as a solitary term, no? But to put it together, and it's a good term because in basketball, you might say as a Meron, you should have done this, you should have done that. But no, you know, some things that you do on the court are instinct and reflexive actions.
Thank you, Dr. J. Although some people might call that redundant. 7 minutes to go in the first half. 46-32, 14-point advantage for the veterans. Ives Dignadise shovels it right back to Joey. Battle for the rebound.
It's going to be an over-the-back foul call against Manny Victorino. And that shot would have never counted even if we'd gone in.
Foul, Victorino.
It's a good call.
Well, the three gentlemen who have been placed behind the 8 ball in refereeing this all-star event have so far done a splendid job.
And they are, once again, Messrs. Varela, Players, and
De Leon.
Mr. De Leon.
Yes.
out there by Joey Loizaga from the hands of Lastimosa. 18 seconds on the shot clock for the
They're still saying
14 points.
Cabahug again coming off the screen, and he's got 10 points
In the ball game right now, 4 out of 5
from the field, 2 out of 2 from the 15-foot line.
That snapshot just dropped down. The veterans lead to a dozen points.
and a good steal there by Cabahug, resulting in a foul by Loizaga.
All right.
Hey, everybody knows this guy.
He writes a column for the Manila Times every Sunday. He's also a member of the
Senate, Mr. Second.
and we shall return.
Wood business.
Good 46-36, just a 10-point lead now for the veterans.
Ramirez, Bracken Harness, Joey Loizaga with a very spirited wide.
Equally spirited.
And by elbow.
The Pyros looking to
On the deficit to a single figure, and they just might do it
with these 2 free throws.
Well, the foul was deemed before he
Up for the shot, Jojo Lastimosa
did the right thing. He knew he would be about I was really trying to
reach for the foul, hoping to go to
15-foot line, Joe. Here's Elmer Cabal.
one of the few 4 shots, and a big miss here by Real Lugo trying to be fancy and stuffing it in. And Joyer Villamin just gave him an object lesson on how to do it. As our friend Waki would say, that's like a 4-point play that you lost because there was an easy 2 points, and then the other team beat you on a fast break instead of having to throw out after a made shot. And the
Oh, there's an even bigger slot now.
A 12-point deficit for the Tyros. The underclassmen
Going to work on the orchestration of the Ronnie Magsano.
There's a push.
By Magsano.
foul.
Joey Villamin there, he has no chance of
Any rebound play.
9 minutes and 20 to go.
go before both.
Squats repaired to the locker room for the halftime break. 48-36. Both of the teams, Joe and I, have 16 fouls.
But this is not merely an exhibition game in the sense that if the contest ends in a
Draw at the end of the regulation period. It will
Kind of that. No. It's going into overtime, and we will definitely have a winner.
Lastimosa off the glass. This is what made Jojo Lastimosa the rookie of the year last year and one of the more popular players. His ability to play one-on-one and get that side step.
First step against his defense.
Man,
Good move there by Elmira.
fancy gunning here by Elmer Reyes. You know, that was a big gamble he took. If he had failed, boy, he would have been red in the face
For the next 5 days. Not because of something. Jojo good pass to Jerry. That's 2 points.
He almost lost the handle on that ball, too.
Almost there, but he didn't. So we have a 50-40 count. The veterans lead chopped down again to just 10 markers as Jerry Sager keeps trying from outside, and his perimeter shooting leaves a lot to be desired tonight. To Ordinary.
by Jojo Lastimosa to Jerry Cordinera, his teammate at Pierfoots.
Counter pass play consummated again by Elmer Reyes. It's a problem using Jerry Cordinera and Real Lupit at the same time.
They started off for this rookie team. Both of them are very slow coming down in defense.
Well, Dante Silveria has his work cut out for him at halftime. That's still a double-digit deficit staring them in the face. 3-point shot. Magsanov.
Second three-point shot.
And this one he must.
Thank Jojo Lastimosa for giving the ball to the strong side and providing a pick for Magsanov to come up with a three-point shot.
And he's praying that Georgia would be with him in the same team someday. And the Vestignatis retaliates for the veterans.
53-45.
That's not impossible. First of all, Jojo had
With Ronnie Magsanov in the national team, Jojo seems to be very relaxed
tonight and doing a great job on assisting Jerry to give it to him.
We're going to have a loose ball foul called against Villamin, I think.
I'm glad you brought up that point.
Jerry, this is
The only time
in the entire season of the
PBA that you will be seeing this
players playing with absolutely no pressure whatsoever.
A lot of substitutions checking in right after this timeout.
Makes it, and it's 57-47, part of a double-digit spread for the veterans. Dina Pumarin is playing the point once again for
the Tyros.
Bong Alvarez. Harassed no end by Yoyo Bilibid. Georgia Lastimosa shadowed by Alan Kaidik. On the defensive ploy paid off.
You can see that just since you mentioned it, I was going to talk about it for
Pastime. There's going to be a held ball for
the referee because of the violation.
The defense is the thing that's bothering the rookies.
They don't have a lot of good defensive players in their lineup. They have a lot of
Good offensive players, but defensively they suffer in comparison to the veterans.
That's going to be traveling. Call them Elmer Reyes.
He took the extra step and was even blocked there by Jerry Cordinera.
The implication of your last observation, Dr. J, is that although we had a bumper crop of great rookies this year and last year, we still have a dearth of great guards among them.
Not, yes, great guards, and even for the big
men, not that big, that's very good defense. There's a good shot here by Giorgio, who's been a pleasant surprise even though he was only fielded midway into the second quarter.
Right.
57-49 is the official tally.
There's an 8-point lead now for the veterans.
Yo-Yo Villamin decides to take matters into his own hands. Misses an
Frontal assault to the basket.
Jerry Cordera clears the board for the White Church. In the promotion, looks around him.
Bong Alvarez. A big hop by Investignatis almost results in a steal, but
Bong Alvarez, you try to windmill shot, but you don't do that in front of you. That is what the big men
of the veterans have been doing. Vignadise, Joya, good defensive people. Cesar is a good defensive player, as well as Fernandez.
The big again, the good steal here because of defense by Vignadise. Hector Calma,
who personifies the meaning of the word defense, goes to Elmer Reyes.
73-49. 11-point lead for the Vets, who have managed to keep the rules at bay. Right from the opening
Offensive rebound by Jerry Cordinero. Nets him a basket.
59-51, an 8-point lead by the Veterans with a minute and 10
3-point shot by Alan Kaidik. He misses this one.
Open court basketball in full display again as the Tyros mount their own offensive with Alan Kaidik giving up the foul, and this lull will give us an opportunity to remind you that this All-Star game is a presentation of KP, the official basketball shoes of the PBA. Now, there are two very good
open court players
in the
rookies lineup right now, and that's Jojo Lastimosa and Bong Alvarez. They had the advantage, and they were going to take
good
this, and Sonny Jaworski probably will come in for Hector Calma.
You know what Baby DeLupin right now is doing is playing to the crowd. He knows that the crowd wants to see Jaworski and Fernandez on the court at the same time, and he is accommodating them.
Too bad there is only a minute and 1 second left here in the second quarter, but this lineup might go all the way to the third quarter.
59-53. Slowly but steadily, the Tyros are closing in. Telegraph pass by Sonny Jaworski.
Open court basketball, which is what the Tyros want.
But Jerry Cordinera has a difficult time trying to shake the shadow of Ives Dignatise, who was only too willing to yield his third personal. Well, again, we'd like to thank KP, the official basketball shoes of the PBA, for putting together this special All-Star game. Of course, the mechanics and all the legwork were performed by the gallant men and women of Vintage Enterprises, led by Seb Sarmenta and some of our most trusted henchmen. Well, we did miss the services of Mrs. Ana Dolor, who is now watching this ball game from Medical City, where she is recovering. So get well soon, Ana. Look at that. A perfect catch by Bong Alvarez. But Alan Kaidik. Oh, Jaworski.
Jaworski was the last line of defense, as our former partner Pingoy would put it. There he is playing the safety guard. Alvarez missing the shot, something that he would ordinarily dunk if Sonny wasn't in the way.
Well, Sonny Jaworski is such an intimidating figure.
I doubted even Olajuwon would dare dunk it in his face.
Alvarez now picking up a little here.
Making his first free throw. Earlier, he split his charity.
Got 6 points in the ball game. Misses the second one.
Only 37 ticks to go before we call it a semester. Oh, and the drive by Sonny Jaworski results in a foul.
No, it's a...
No foul.
A bad pass, which Elmer Reyes could not field. So an opportunity for the rookies to come in even closer. They're just down by 4.
The Tyros are definitely knocking on the door.
Ooh.
Wow, what a perfect alley-oop between Dindo Pomar and Bong Alvarez.
Another bad play here, and a chance to tie.
The Tyros are looking for a deadlock. They have it. Bong Alvarez hanging on to the ring like Tarzan, making out with a cry of the bull ape.
And now it's 59 all.
1 second to go. We have a tied ball game as we move into halftime. Wow, we shall return.
Pagkahaba-haba man ang posisyon, pag naka-Spartan, okay lang. Spartan, may tibay na maaasahan.
This is Milano, the long-span steel tile only from Phil Steel. Crafted from top-class steel, galvanized and pre-painted, won't crack, leak, or shatter, almost worry-free. Phil Steel Milano, luxuriously crafted. Ask your architects about it.
Parami, talagang parami ang gumagamit ng Rhea rubbing alcohol. Ang alcohol na walang patawad sa mikrobyo. Rhea rubbing alcohol.
Tama ng tatal, masaya na.
Rhea rubbing alcohol, walang patawad sa mikrobyo.
na nga. Pero ang mahalaga ay gawa ko ito at handa akong itaya dito ang aking pangalan. Kita mo itong Gold Eagle Beer. Tataktan Miguel, hindi nahihiyang itaya ang kanyang pangalan kasi kayang panindigan ang kanyang sarap. Yan lang naman ang mahalaga sa buhay pare ko. Kung naniniwala ka sa gawa mo, dapat itaya mo ang pangalan.
Pare ko.
From Japan, ang blade na ibang-iba sa lahat. Feather blade. Talas na tumatagal dahil gawa sa high-grade stainless steel at balot ng platinum at teflon. Para sa ahit na walang sabit. Feather blade.
2 points, 46-44 with 58.
Yan ang pamilyar na tunog sa basketball. At ito ngayon ang pamilyar na tunog sa breakfast table.
Bagong Sunrise? Okay to. Flavor-rich granules kasi. Konti lang, masarap na. Napakatipid.
Matunog na matunog ngayon ang New Sunrise Flavor-rich granules. Subukan nyo. Get 10% more coffee.
In a fit of jubilation, they finally shook hands and smiled at each other.
You know, Joe, that's why I know there is a God. The game went all the way up to 130 all and gave a very, very good last play. This was almost an impossible shot by Ramon. Si Benji didn't want to foul him. Mo goes through the baseline, is met by Alvin Patrimonio and has to do an impossible shot using the glass, and it goes in.
Now, I tell you, Dr. J, by the time that ball was in the hoop, it was 0 hour in the game clock.
That's right.
What a ball game. A rousing victory here for the veterans, and we shall have our MVP choice right after this.
Si boom, si boom. Ya da 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 si boom. Pwede ibang makausap man lang, at tayo'y mag-San Miguel Beer. San Miguel Beer, galing, galing, galing. San Miguel Beer, galing, galing, galing. Ibang may pinagsamahan, wag tunay walang kapantay. Ibang may pinagsamahan, San Miguel Beer.